Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Well, kids, welcome to Drinkin Bros. If I seem a little happier than normal, well, it's because these diamond hands paid off, baby. AMC is through the roof. It is up 100% today, just today. It is currently up 30 points, 30.71, opened up the day right around the 32 area. Man, the meme stock is real. It is also funding our weekend for the Mayweather fight because D'Anthony took a little off the table today. We got ringside for Mayweather.
This isn't what I would consider to be a meme stock.
I wouldn't either, but you're starting to look at market caps into 12 to 15 billion dollars.
Yeah, that's fine, dude. It's a fucking huge industry. This isn't like the other bullshit stocks. This is an actual business that dipped artificially because of the pandemic and will come back as asses are in seats, as I predicted, and it's now happening. This is not a meme stock.
I agree. Look,
this was a smart business move, and it's paying off. That's all it is.
Look, this stock has good enough fundamentals that, yes, it is a real business. However,
it's a good long and a short play, by the way. Like, what we're doing is we're pulling out some of our shit now, but we'll leave some in, too, because I think right now what it's looking like, I think this thing might really blow up. If fucking these Reddit retards get a hold of it, there's only so much that shutting down the market periodically can do. Because you can't shut it out forever, and as soon as it comes back up, now you're re-motivating people to fuck with it now. If Reddit had lost interest in AMC, now they're coming back hard after this shit, right?
Yeah, and the interesting thing about it is
you can't keep fucking with these dudes. You can't keep fucking with these bored ass knuckleheads who have made a bunch of money already and now they have free money to play with. You can't keep fucking with them. They have nothing to do but this all day long. That's why you don't start fights with fucking fat neckbeard people on the internet, because they will just sit around and fight you all day. It's fucking crazy, man.
I've been keeping an eye on this most of the day, and look, they've halted trading 4 different times. Each time it has dropped about 10 points, and then it has skyrocketed as soon as they have released it back onto the open market for like normal people to buy. You're not going to, Dan's right, you're not going to stop this. There's a bunch of people just sitting at home staring at this, refreshing their phones every 10 fucking seconds. And then they're going over to Twitter, ape strong, diamond hands, laser eyes, and still going all in. There was a point today where it was up to $75 a share, and that's opening at 30, and it was up close to, I think, 40% the day before. So look, is there a shot this gets past 100? Yes. I don't even know who's shorting this at this point, because when you're in the middle of this and you're going in the information age, some of these screenshots of fucking puts and options and shorts are fake. I don't know what's real and what's not. I know this. Everybody's buying it, and it just keeps going. The chart is very similar right now to GameStop back in January when this all started. I don't know where it ends, but I know this. We took a little off, and we're going to go sit ringside at the Mayweather fight Sunday night, and Nicholas is going to cut us out some signs from Kinko's. It says, "Thank you, AMC, Diamond Hands, Gorilla Strong" on this, because it's all we're doing now at this point. And I wonder, Dan, what other people are doing who are just like, well, fuck, I'm 20 years old. What are they doing with the fucking money?
I'm sure everybody's riding it. I mean, if you're smart, like, we don't care about this. This is just like a fucking fun game for us. But if you're smart, you're holding on to it right now, because I tell you what AMC is not going to do is go down. Like, it'll fluctuate. You'll see 20, maybe 30% dips from time to time as the market regulates itself. But the fucking 6, 12, and 18-month trajectories are looking like this. I mean, it looks like fucking straight the fuck up, and there's no reason to expect it's going to go down. The more movies become, the more movies that go back into theaters and people go into seats and they start generating positive revenue, that's it, man. And if AMC comes out Like the smart play for AMC is to start transitioning from brick and mortar and start their own streaming service. Instead of having to go to HBO Max and take a huge pay cut, basically, which is what Wonder Woman had to do, AMC provides a streaming service that is the premier service for new movies coming out, because Amazon's trying to corner that market now, but they haven't been able to. They've been trying for 2 or 3 years now, and they haven't been able to do it. AMC is a company that's built for this. So if they're able to fucking corner that market and tailor it custom for fucking home theaters, which became wildly popular over the last year, that fucking stock is going to 200 plus. But we'll see if they can do it or not, right? Either way, it's going 40 plus at a minimum, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, we're past it. We're at 63 right now.
Well, I mean, it's going to stay. It's going to stay.
Like,
It will not go. It will not go below 40.
Yeah, we're at 60 something plus right now. Let me grab the quick update here.
62, 32.34.
Yeah, 62.14. And look, there's going to be more excitement when the box office numbers come in for Fast and Furious 9.
Unless they suck. Here's the other problem. So a lot of the big fucking movies that are coming out are starring people who typically watch those movies don't care for too much. Now they're heavily reliant on China, but John Cena and his whole bullshit. Dave Bautista, who is now apparently fucking Rex Chapman 2.0. You know, he's like, the Biden-Harris administration isn't anti-gun. All they want to do is ban assault rifles. It'll make us safer. Like, I'm sorry, do you want to say that again? Take your fist out of your own ass, you fucking retard, and listen to the words that are coming out of your fucking mouth. Dave Bautista's turned into like the biggest cunt piece of shit of all time. It's funny to see how all these fucking former tough guys become such fucking pussies. And I posted a picture on my Instagram this morning, or I put it on my story. It's a picture of Dave Bautista profiting. He's standing there in full kit with a fucking assault rifle in some zombie movie, right? That's coming out soon. Army of the Dead. Actually, it already came out. Profiting off the fucking weapon that he wants to ban. Like, it's okay for him to make money on it, not okay for you to use it to defend your fucking family. Fuck you, Dave Bautista. I hope that guy gets AIDS. Fuck him.
Well, look, recently, too, he made headlines by saying he didn't want to be in Guardians of the Galaxy anymore because he didn't want to stay in shape because he was shirtless in that movie.
The fuck?
Look at The Rock, man. I think they're right around the same age. He's having zero problems doing it.
Yeah, Dave Bautista sounds a lot like that Osaka chick. Like, they want the cake and they want to eat it, too. You know what I mean? Like, he wants the trappings of fame and all that stuff, but he doesn't want to have to do the work, apparently. Which is funny because his Twitter handle is like, poor kid who made it big or something like that. Like, shut the fuck up. What a clown that guy is. Like, he's a good actor or something. No, he's just big. He's big. He sucks. He's the worst actor of all time.
I'll give him credit.
Not a great actor.
I'll give him credit for one thing. He was the only star to fully come out in James Gunn's defense after that Twitter thing.
Over the pedophile.
Yeah, when the PC police or whatever came after Gunn, he was the only one, and Gunn got fired. He was the only one that was like, "That's bullshit." Like, straight up,
look,
no.
When you have enough money, you can do shit like that. So it's fine. I'm not a fucking Dave Bautista fan. I'm not going to miss him when he's not acting anymore, as I was unaware that he was, actually an actor in the first place. So Dave Bautista doesn't mean shit to me.
Well, he's not an actor. He's a guy who acts, yeah. But that's like calling. That's like calling. I mean, I guess technically he's getting paid for it. That makes him a professional, technically speaking. But that's like calling your dad a fucking chef because he's barbecuing and burning all your shit on the weekends. You know what I mean? Like he's showing up. He's doing the work, I guess. But fuck, man, the results are not that great.
No, and look, it's like calling Dr. Fauci a doctor. I read those emails that I didn't know you could just file a thing with the Freedom of Information Act and be like, yeah, let's see all the fucking emails. First of all, he's the highest paid government employee we have besides the president, $417,000 a year. Second of all, I read the emails. He knew exactly as much as all of us did, which was nothing. He knew nothing that was going on.
Well, I mean, he knew
crazy.
He actually knew quite a bit. Apparently, there's a new email that's circulating now that shows he was notified of potential lab leaks in Wuhan way before.
No shit. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it, and we'll throw it up on screen. Keep talking.
Yeah, pull it up. I went through all of them, and again, the flip flopping back and forth of all of this shit of like, oh, this is crazy, or people are gonna get crazy because it's too much for people to handle, and blah blah blah.
This is exactly what I said, by the way.
Sense.
That's what I remember when they were making up all this fake shit, and I'm like, they believe that people are too dumb to handle this information and that they won't do the right thing, so they're going to openly lie to people and drum up fear to get them to comply. That's all it is. I said this fucking year and a half ago. Of course that's what it is. What else would it be? This article, by the way, you guys, do you have AirDrop turned on over there? Yeah. For the first time ever? All right, MacBook, it's coming. This is a Yahoo News article, by the way. This isn't like fucking some conservative or fucking Veritas. The headline says Anthony Fauci's emails reveal how he outrightly rejected COVID-19 lab leak theory last year, right?
Yes. So now that I remember,
this is one of them.
Yeah, he definitely came out and said that this isn't real. There is no lab leak. Blah 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 blah. Now, as of a week ago, 2 weeks ago, he's open to an investigation to learn more because now he thinks it might have been from a lab. I look, man, I just want to shake this motherfucker down and just say, hey, dude, why did you do any of this? Oh, that's right, because it was money. Didn't he have like $100 million invested in that fucking lab in the first
I don't know
place?
about that, but he did break federal law by getting $1.2 million sent there to fund gain-of-function research. And if you remember, I think it was like fake news, maybe 90, somewhere around there, 88 to 92 in that range, I think. We ran a story where not only did they spend $1.2 million on gain of function, but since then, over the last year, before anybody figured this out, another 105 or so, 106 million got earmarked for gain of function research over there from the U.S. government, right?
Great.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's being shut down now that we know that it's fucking, that they're murdering people, but probably not. I mean, who knows?
No, and it's like, what do you do now? Like, what does Biden do now about Dr. Fauci, right? I was surprised that Trump put up with his bullshit for the entire year, but it was an election year, and he almost didn't have a choice because there is people in America who love this motherfucker and still do, which is crazy to me. And he just signed a big fat book deal that's going to come out in June about how he's America's doctor and all this other bullshit, and it's like, man, at what point, if you're Joe Biden, do you look at this guy like, dude, you're a fucking liability. I've got to get rid of you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's my guess is one of two things. Either Fauci was acting alone and he can be used as a fall guy, or they allow him to make his money off his book, then get him as a fall guy or whatever the fuck and just tarnish his name. Or there are too many other people involved that would go down if they do that, and they're going to have to fucking do something else. I think what I said 2 weeks ago is they're going to launch an investigation for sure while Biden's president, so they can control this narrative and make sure nobody else gets taken down. That's what I expect to happen.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about it out loud here. Shit, I would say this: the best thing for him to do would be to step down. Right around that book coming out at the end of June. Look, COVID is essentially over at this point. I don't know about, there, but here, nobody's even wearing masks in or out. It's not mandatory. No, nothing. And it's done. Like COVID is pretty much done. So that would, if I'm him, that would be the ideal time to walk away. Say, hey, I'm going to go promote my book and live my life. I went through the greatest crisis in, human history. And then you can find me at Amazon for $18 for a hardback right now. Like, I think that's probably what he'll do. That's just my guess. That's a Rostradamus prediction on that one. I think he'll walk away so Biden doesn't give him a chance to fire him.
Maybe. We'll see. I really don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, it would just be speculation at this point, but I do think that something's going to happen, and it's going to happen while Biden is in control, so you can minimize the fucking fallout for other people, both in his administration and in big business as well.
Yeah, and then in other news, one of our beef fries, Austin Talley down at WTF Ice House, has texted me that Ben Affleck is in town in Austin, Texas. I would lose all the shit inside my body if we were able to get him on the air. I don't know what he's doing there. Hot Bob, can you find out what Ben Affleck is doing in Austin right now?
He's probably doing a site fucking survey for a new film or something, right? You would think. What else would he be doing here? Otherwise, he's thinking about moving here.
They're shooting a new film called Hypnotic here.
Okay.
Don't know what the movie's
Hypnotic,
about.
like the drink?
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's a Robert Rodriguez. It's a Robert Rodriguez movie.
Oh, well, Robert Rodriguez lives around here. So
Yeah, he lives out in Spice. I actually used to live right across the river from him.
Yeah.
He lives in a castle in Spicewood.
We were supposed to do a couple things with him last summer, but it was right before we moved, and we weren't able to get here in time. So I think it was when did we first come here? Like the end of July or some shit like that? The third.
Yeah, and end of July. He's got an airport hangar that he shoots all of his shit at over there that's pretty close to our studio.
Yeah, we were supposed to come here it was the third week of May or the last week of May. It was going to be, the last week of June. It was supposed to be me and you, Rudy Reyes, Robert Rodriguez, a couple other people were going to do some weird shit. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but we'll circle back with him because that dude's awesome.
He's rad, and he didn't let me direct Machete in Space, which I'm still pissed off about. But
did he direct it?
Production?
Did he directed it himself? Didn't he?
No, it hasn't gone into production. They stopped after the last Machete, so it is yet to have been made yet. I'm still down. I tweeted him for that lasted forever. 178 days straight or something like that.
Wait, who did direct Machete, the original one? Was it him?
He did.
Yeah, that's why he's not going to let you direct that one. He's going to do it himself. That's fucking awesome. Why would he give it to somebody else?
That was the rumor going around. That's why we did the whole campaign, was that he didn't have time. He kind of wanted to give it to somebody else to do, kind of write and direct, and then kind of be under the supervision of him, and he would produce it.
Well, he's definitely going to not have, if he's doing a thing with Affleck will be directing that for sure, right?
It's tough, man. When you're dealing with two heavyweights like that, Robert Rodriguez shoots fast too. And he hasn't directed a movie in a while.
But Affleck is a really good director, though. I mean, he's
a great director.
He's really good at it. I think if Rodriguez is smart, he would fucking double down on that and use Affleck as a resource. Because there's no, if you were taking a chance on a new director, I understand you need to be there every day or at least at the end of the week to go over the fucking dailies and stuff like that. But if it's Ben Affleck with his resume, you don't need to micromanage him. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing.
No, and the reason why every actor loves working with him is, dude, his shoots don't really go longer than like 28 days.
Yeah, he's the best.
Fucking insane.
Well, I mean, you're like that too, though. You've got that.
Yeah.
That's why that's what really impressed everybody with Range 15, that they had no idea what they were doing. And you were able to come in, rewrite the script, and shoot the whole thing basically in 16 days, right? I mean, it was that's filming those shoot locations, especially in LA, dealing with parking and fucking permits and all that other fucking bullshit costs so much goddamn money. If you can do it on a tight timeline like that, you can save yourself hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars at a big budget production.
Yeah, and truthfully, I don't know that I've said this out loud, but I learned it from Robert Rodriguez. He wrote this book when he was making El Mariachi, because he made that for like $8,000, and he just talked about how he wrote it and kind of reverse engineered it in a way so that you're writing for a budget versus, I'm just going to write whatever the fuck I want and not think about money, because you do have to think about money,
right?
And that's the way that I was forced to think about all my movies. So. Yeah, in the writing process, you write for the amount of days that you can shoot, and you know that some locations are in the same place, and you can just do a quick company move and knock out a bunch of scenes in 1 to 2 days. And I learned that from him, to be honest with you. He was the master of it. But if Affleck is there, I really want that to be the true story, the biopic of the guy who created the hypnotic drink, because I was a huge fan of that back.
Is that really what it's about, the hypnotic thing? Probably not, right? It's probably based on a book. Everything's based on a fucking book these days.
It would be so good if it was.
Hypnotic.
Hey, we found out what that movie was shooting outside of my house, by the way.
What was it?
It's called The Long Road Home, and it's the new Netflix movie. And it's the same thing, based on a book. and they shot it. Now, this I've never seen before. I bitched about it on RPR the other day because I'd come home from Memorial Day weekend to see my family, and I get stuck here when the flights got canceled. But it was Friday night. I just got back, and they were doing a fucking night shoot directly in front of my house, like right there.
There's a lot more. I'm seeing it more and more. There's a lot more shit being shot, and I mean, it used to be like that in the early 2000s, and they still shoot some stuff here.
Yeah,
but a lot of the stuff that used to get shot here went to Atlanta because there's so much production there now. A lot of it went to Toronto for tax reasons and shit. You can't film shit in Canada anymore. Like the fucking hockey teams can't even play in Canada right now. They're playing in fucking. Aren't the Raptors playing in Buffalo too?
The NHL playoffs are going on in Canada.
Yeah, they're in a bubble in Canada, right?
Yeah,
But
the Raptors were playing in Tampa Bay.
It's the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are playing in Buffalo right now because they can't play baseball games up there. So you can't do shit up there. I'm seeing way more movies come back to Austin, and I won't be surprised to see film or TV come in here too because it's just easier to do shit here. Like that new Sean Patrick Flannery movie. What the fuck was it called? Born a Champion, where he's like a fucking MMA guy or whatever the fuck it is. It's him. It's fucking Dennis Quaid, Katrina Bowden. It was shot right next to my old apartment down there on the river in that park. Like I watched the whole thing getting shot. There was cops out there like, hey, we're cordoning all this off because they're filming down here. I'm like, oh, who is it? He goes, that dude from Boondock Saints. I'm like, oh, Willem Dafoe. And he goes, oh, no. I'm like, I just kept rattling off the names of people in Boondock Saints because I knew exactly who it was. I just wanted him to fucking have to tell me. He had no idea who it was. It's really funny. But the movie was actually really good. Born a Champion. But anyways, they're filming more and more here. I'm not surprised to see it.
Yeah. So, hey, this was an odd one, and I'd never seen it before. But when this film comes out, they shot at this yellow house that's next door to mine, and obviously I'm pissed off, as soon as I hear night shoot on a Friday night on
because those lights, like people who don't work in the industry don't know this, but they shoot a lot of daytime scenes at night and use these lights that are strong enough to make it look like daytime. So you can imagine how strong those lights are.
It looked like the fucking moon once they lit it up, and then
up.
they wet down all the streets because it was, it's Netflix, so they had a decent budget.
Yeah.
And they kept doing that. There was endless generators. Finally, I walked outside and I go, look, man, I respect everything that you're doing right now, but like, I wasn't permitted for this. If you guys are loud as shit, I'm literally just gonna go out in the driveway and just play DMX Essentials and drink seltzer and fucking. If we were, I didn't know I was gonna get stuck here, but if I knew, we were just going live from the driveway and then had the stars on the movie. It was like Andy McDowell and like Dermot Mulrooney and some other fucking people, but it would have been really funny. Just hold a gun to the fucking first AD's head and say, look, if you want to shoot here today, I'm going to need Andy McDowell to talk to me for an hour about Groundhog's Day, and then Dermot Mulrooney to talk about if he boned Julia Roberts on 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
He definitely did.
I need those answers.
He definitely did.
Yeah, that guy's a goddamn pimp. Even Jesse was like, oh, shit, if I'd have known it was Mulrooney, dude, I would have let him fucking shoot here all goddamn night. But the weird thing is, and I've never seen this done before in any film. This house has been, I've lived in this area for 6 years. I've had a place here. This house has been yellow probably since the 70s. After they shot the movie, a full crew came in and repainted the entire house blue.
What the fuck?
I wondered if like they were worried the movie was going to be too big and people were going to start showing up at their fucking house, but it was pretty funny.
Well, whatever is going on there, I think it's going to continue to increase because one, there is a shit ton of non-union film production people here in Austin, a fucking lot, because this is a right to work state, right?
Yep.
And also, there's no capacity limits, there's no mask work, none of that bullshit. You can do whatever the fuck you want here. So I expect, even in Georgia, it's not as good as it is here right now. So I'm expecting a lot of that production to come back here from LA and Atlanta, to be honest. Which is good.
They're shooting Walker Texas Ranger there for CW in Texas right now.
Is
Austin
it Walker? Is it like in Walker Texas Ranger, but it's just Chuck Norris using one of those walkers? Is that what it is this time?
No, it's the guy from Supernatural. He's playing fucking a younger.
That's gonna go for 15 fucking seasons.
Texas Ranger.
That dude,
also,
that dude's an
got
expert.
back to me. He said he is hanging out with Robert Rodriguez, trying to see if they're doing any public engagements. They start filming Hypnotic in September. So yeah, they're probably doing location scouts right now all over the city.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's other people in that movie too. I mean, obviously.
Not that I care about, Dan. It's Ben Affleck or bust for me. He's back, dude. He's with Jennifer Lopez. They're fucking doing cocaine again. Like I want old Ben back, dude.
This seems like this is going to be an interesting movie. So it's written by the same dude who wrote Sin City and Alita Battle Angel. I'm sure a lot of people have seen that one as well. It's like kind of a I think it's mixed media. It's like half not even CGI, like half cartoon, half real in some cases, or they just like they get into the uncanny valley, so it's kind of weird. And that's Rodriguez, and then Max Bornstein also, who wrote Kong. You know what I mean? So this is like a big fucking action thriller kind of situation. So I don't know how you do action thriller in Austin. That seems like the one movie that maybe doesn't make a whole lot of sense here, but Robert Rodriguez can do what he wants.
Yeah, I know why. So that airport hangar he owns, because he owns the whole landing strip and everything. They can create full sets and towns and all that shit where he's at. But if it's an action movie, those take forever to shoot. It means Affleck's going to be fucking raging all over town, dude. We've got to get him on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Come on, Big Ben.
I'm sure we can. It does take a long time to shoot those, but it's even more in the editing. Like, isn't the editing phase for those like 6 to 8 months most times?
Yeah, it's brutal. It's the sound editing, man.
Yeah.
So like, you got to do the CGI. That's one thing, but the sound editing on those fucking things is so goddamn gnarly that it's like, those are the only ones you'll see up for an Oscar that aren't like, wheelchair movies or AIDS movies and shit, because that's the hardest job on the planet. That's what takes so fucking long on those goddamn things.
Yeah, and the problem with the ADR stuff is like the CGI you can do concurrently as you're filming a lot of times just on the dailies, but the ADR you can't do it until after assembly a lot of times, right? Like you have like the film is basically complete, then you have to go back through the whole goddamn thing and do the fucking audio, which is
dude.
That's got to add like 2 months to your production time.
It's a bitch, man. That sound edit and all that other shit. Yeah, you're looking.
That's why we do podcasts.
60 to 90 days on something like that.
That's why we do podcasts now, because fuck all of that. Not doing any of that bullshit.
I would come back and do Rescue 16. I mean, look, now that the pandemic's over and all that shit, but trying to corral all those personalities together is a fucking nightmare. But, it's worth it for Nick Cage, dude.
Yes.
He was supposed to be Gene Vandenham's dad in that. That would have been rad. Now he's doing National Treasure, another one. So he'll be knocked out. Those fucking things take forever to shoot.
How funny would it be if he did National Treasure and they're searching for the original virus from the Wuhan lab? You think that would fly?
They find the dead doctor that they killed over there.
And on his back, it's like the formula for the vaccine's tattooed on his lower back, but it's UV, and he has to put a UV light over it, so he cuts the skin off. I don't know. Not a writer.
National Treasure, back to Wuhan.
Yeah.
That would be gangbusters. I don't know if China would be sweet with it.
Well, China can suck one, so fuck those guys.
Hey, I know you guys were talking about John Cena on American Party the other day. What's the blowback been from him?
I don't know. I mean, it just kind of went away, obviously, as things do. I know that my understanding is that the American opening for Fast 9 is not looking great. Because as I predicted, the people who watch those movies aren't huge fans of getting down on your knees and sucking dicks. But it doesn't really matter, to be honest, because China is plenty big enough to carry that weight. If all these American actors are going to pivot like that, all these American basketball players are going to pivot like that and go full on dick suck China, then they will still make their money.
Oh yeah.
It's not going to affect them at all as long as they fucking, do that.
Yeah, I mean, let's see here. Just kind of looking at the numbers. Man, They've got it pegged in the 120 to 150 range right now. If it does that opening weekend, that's big boy shit. If I'm the studio, and I think it's Universal, I just take him out of the fucking commercials altogether.
Right. Probably, yeah.
There's like 9 million people in that fucking thing. What do you need John Cena for?
I have no idea.
You know? Let him pop up later as a nice, like, surprise. He's accidentally a lead. Oh, did we mislead you? Well, that's Hollywood. Fuck off. You know?
Yeah.
Because, look, I still go Vin Diesel and Paul Walker. Are they putting a hologram Paul Walker in this one?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll get his brother again, and he'll just, like, it'll only be from slightly behind his left ear. You know what I mean? Like, he just, like, slightly turns around every time. I don't know.
We're not far from that. You realize that, right?
No, I mean, they were able to put in, who is it? Who is the CGI they put in for those Star Wars movies back in the day?
The General, Grand Moff,
No.
whatever.
No. That was actually really good. That fucking...
Oh, Princess Leia, they did it for the last one.
Yeah. But they also did, they did holograms of the old characters from the first trilogy at the end of the new trilogy. Like, you know how the dead Jedi are like ghosts or whatever the fuck that is? They inserted the old guys in the remastered version of that last second part of the trilogy. So they've been at this for a while. But yeah, General Moffat or whatever the fuck his name was, that was really good fucking CGI work. I mean, exceptional. That's some of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're getting really good with it. Like, so much, in fact, that it's starting to go into people's wills of what you're allowed to do with their likeness, and one of them is holograms and shit like that. Especially with like NFTs and everything else that's going on right now. That's what's going to be the future of all this shit. Our grandkids will be watching brand new Tom Cruise movies in fucking 60 years.
Maybe. I mean, Tom Cruise is the perfect action star. He doesn't age. Does his own stunts. He's actually a pretty good writer. He's a good director too. Even when he's not directing, he still keeps everybody in line. I guess you just have to be a fucking lunatic to be good at all that stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of a fucking lunatic, God damn it, dude! Breaking news: Coach K is retiring.
Yeah.
Yep, Coach K is retiring, and it's looking like John Shire is going to be his replacement.
Wow. So that's we actually talked about this on a sports show. The one and done teams and all that bullshit weren't meant for guys like this. Him and Roy Williams retired in the same year, Duke and UNC. That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's doing his little retirement tour for a season before he gets.
So he's going to do one more and then he's out of there.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder if that team's any good. If they're shitty, that's going to be pretty sad. Well, nothing you can do about it. You know, that's a big story. That's kind of buried today, and all the fucking AMC madness that's been going on, because it's been stonks all day long on every single channel. Everybody's trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Where are we at now, Hot Bob?
63.85. It's been floating around. I actually took some profits and then I cashed out a little bit just to be safe, but it's going.
Yeah. Look, we took some out to get ringside at Mayweather, so you know we put our money to good use.
It's basically a savings account at this point.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 64.25. I mean, it's bouncing around, so you know we'll see.
Look, Bob, is there a better place to put your money than at ringside for Logan Paul versus Mayweather?
Look, you made
Probably
money.
not.
When you make money ignorantly, you must spend that money ignorantly.
Agreed.
I agree. And Dan and I had this conversation earlier in the afternoon. It was just like, well, this is what we're doing because, you know, it's a meme stock versus a meme fight, I guess you would say. I didn't know that Chad Ochocinco was on the undercard of this fucking thing.
What? Wait, what? What the fuck is he doing?
He's fighting, dude.
Fighting whom?
He's fighting this guy who was either an MMA guy or a boxer. I forget. Look it up, Hot Bob. But Chad Ochocinco, the retired football player, is actually on the undercard of this fight.
That's weird.
Real fucking weird.
How did no one know about this? This seems like something that would be big news.
I don't know. When I purchased the tickets earlier, I was like, shit.
He's fighting.
Really?
He's fighting a guy named Brian Maxwell.
That's not even a real name.
Yeah, that sounds. That's an autogen name.
Yeah, they just made that shit up.
Yeah, that's like your 3-star quarterback recruit in NCAA 14.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Whatever the odds are, I'm betting it all against Chad Ochocinco. There's no way he could fight a real fighter.
No, but I mean he's kind of a psycho though. Like he you know, he just does weird shit. I can see him doing it. By the way, I have a video to show from Reddit in terms of spending your money ignorantly with AMC.
Oh, great. Fired up. Are we able to watch this thing?
Yeah. If the sound is on, but it doesn't matter.
That's fine.
This is from Las Vegas today.
Today?
I think so. It got posted today.
All right.
It's
Post it up.
Poolside is playing. You'll see it in a sec, I guess.
Okay.
Just some asshole took his AMC money.
No
To
way.
the moon.
Bought a fucking cabana and all these girls to hold up AMC to the moon.
Where is this?
I think it's Vegas.
Oh, so it's is that what's the name of that fucking place?
Oh, I know exactly where this
one
is
where
at.
Ma-
This is outside of Caesars.
Where Paiva's wife used to work. What's the name of that fucking place?
Shit.
Where
I've partied there before. Do you know how much that fucking cabana is, by the way?
it's 10 to 15,000 just
Yes.
to reserve the cabana itself.
Yep.
Hold
And then
on.
the bottles themselves are like usually 500 to 800 a piece. They look like they had between
I
6 and
spotted
8 bottles.
So let's see. This chick doesn't have any bottles. This chick doesn't. We've got I think a Patron bottle there, and then this chick on the end has 2. It looks like more like handles than fifths of. That looks like brown tequila or whatever the fuck you call it, and then the other one is clearly vodka, or maybe clear rum.
Yikes! That's gonna that entire endeavor right there. I love it, and I love to see shit like that. But that entire endeavor, that bill that guy is gonna get today is probably gonna be somewhere in the 28K range,
Doesn't matter. He's gonna make it all back tomorrow.
or in the aftermarket, Bob.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the trend has been in the aftermarket that it dips like 10 to 15, 20% every day after.
But then you wake up.
But then you wake up and it goes immediately back up.
Every morning this week, I've gotten a notification that's like AMC is up 20%.
Yeah, dude.
And texts from my friends that are like, "You're a fucking asshole."
No, you're an asshole for not listening to us when we told you to buy it fucking 6 months ago, you dum-dums. Now, not only did I didn't say on a whim to buy the shit. I said, buy it. It's going to go to fucking 2025 after the pandemic is over. And then as soon as the big movies start hitting, it's going to start jumping and jumping and jumping. And that's exactly what's happening. You tell your friends that they are assholes for not listening to people that know what the fuck they're talking about. Which I guess makes us assholes for not listening to Fake Dan about golf because he made another $5,000 on golf this goddamn weekend.
I can't believe it, dude. Look, it's gonna get to a point where we're gonna need our own stonk show and then our own golf show. Dude, that's no lie. I think Fake Dan, that's like the third fucking long shot you've hit this year, right?
Yeah. Max
Jesus.
Homa, Keegan Bradley first round, and then Kokrak.
I mean, if you think
I
about
couldn't
those
even pronounce
odds,
that guy's name.
those odds are probably 50 to 1 each. So if you want to calculate the odds of hitting all three in 1 year, it's 50 times 50 times 50. That's how, by the way, statistics work.
Yeah,
You
I think
retards out
Max
there.
was 90 to 1. Then Kokrak was 42 to 1.
Okay.
And then the Keegan Bradley first round leader was 70 to 1.
Okay, good. So that is 264,600 to 1. Those are the odds of winning all three of those bets, just so you're clear on that.
Man, so one of our listeners is saying Encore Beach Club at the Wynn is where this is at.
Encore, that's it. Yep. Encore Beach Club. Yeah, it's 10 to 15,000. 10 for the fucking 10 person, and then for the 20 person, it's 15,000 to reserve one of those cabanas, just to reserve it. You don't get anything else.
No, you get nothing.
You just get the spot for that amount of money. It's fucking wild. And those girls, like Matt Paiva, our good buddy Matt Paiva, who by the way has got one of the best workout companies that exist now. He's on it, and all these other companies that make weights, he's blowing them out of the water right now. And the company's only existed for 1 year. He's lighting it the fuck up. He's now the number one sold dumbbell company online in America after 1 year. Anyways,
What's the name of it, by the way?
hold on. I'll have to get it from him. I can't remember the name. But they're in fucking Walmart. They're in Costco. They're everywhere now already. in a year.
Damn. He's rad. We did a gig with him years ago for Red Bull out there, and it was a fucking blast. But yeah, if you're there raging it on,
it's called True Grit Fitness. TRUGRIT Fitness.
Okay.
Like he founded it in 2019, and they were just kind of dicking around and stuff. But during the pandemic, when all those weight shortages started happening, they cranked up their production, and now they're like the #1 e-commerce fucking weight company, which is basically what Black Rifle is. Black Rifle is the #1 e-commerce coffee company on earth, right? Black Rifle controls like 11 or 12% of the market share for e-commerce coffee. That is a ridiculous amount, by the way.
If you were able to work during the pandemic or somehow made it happen, dude, a lot of people came out of this financially in decent shape, especially with a company like that. If you had an idea, you were getting things shipped to your house. I mean, shit, that was the reason for shipping the seltzer to our house.
Yeah, I mean, even now is still a really good time to start a business because things like my medical company, telemedicine became normal. Now everybody's doing it. It's a great time to start something like that. Any kind of product or service that you can put directly into people's hands, avoiding middlemen, put it directly in people's hands, especially at their homes. If you've got any idea right now about any kind of thing like that, you need to start doing that shit right now because you can fucking quit your day job probably within 6 months if you do it right.
Look, you might be able to quit it this weekend if AMC keeps moving like this.
Maybe. Let's do some ads. So GhostBed exists.
Yeah, it does. Ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Best in the biz. I got one here right behind me. It's in the old guest room here. It's fired up and ready to fuck. That's the new motto. I'm kidding. It's not, but it should be. Let's get fired up and get ready to fuck on a ghost bed from ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Man, the sheets are underrated. I'm telling you. Just bought some new sheets as well using my own promo code. Sorry, not sorry, Rich. Got some new sheets, pillows, and I couldn't live without that adjustable base. Go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros today. That new cooling pillow too that you can fill up with as much shit as you want in there. I don't know what's inside of that or whatever, but they've got a new huge pillow that you can like stuff it as high as you want in there. And it's almost kind of works like a body pillow.
It's the shredded pillow. So when you get the shredded pillow, you can either take stuff out if you want it to be smaller, or you can contact their customer service and they will send you more stuffing to put in there if you want it bigger. You're not going to find a better company than GhostBed.
No. Big fans. As always, they got a 36-month pay-as-you-go program. No interest there. A little bit. If it depends on what your credit is. Apparently, somebody with like super shitty credit hit me up and was like, "Hey, dude, I didn't get the deal." And I was like, "Well, what was your credit? Let's be fair." And they were like, "Wasn't that good?" I think it just has to have like a good rating or like a normal rating, and then you're fine. But you can bundle that together. They got a calculator at the end of it, and you're good to go. Go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros today. Next up, who do we got, Anthony?
ExpressVPN.
Woo! Is there a better time for that than right now? Fucking everything's getting hacked.
Yeah. Even meat. Oh, so I got I got an email from somebody that works in that industry telling me exactly what happened. So as soon as you're done with this, I'll go through all that.
Yeah, because I'm curious. Like, there's been reports today that there was a ransom paid and all that other shit. We always know somebody who's involved in this shit.
Right. We
got some boots on the ground somewhere. So look, we'll get to it after ExpressVPN. But look, this is the time, man. Everybody's trying to steal everything from you. Go to expressvpn.com/drinking bros and you get an extra 3 months free. If you don't have a VPN in today's world, you might as well not own a fucking computer because your shit's gonna get stolen.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's like using the fucking bathroom, dude. You pull the door behind you,
right,
in case you might, get raped or something. But no, with this, man, shit, you can watch movies, everything, all of it, dude, across the board. I was trying to get this game the other night that wasn't on in my area for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but expressvpn.com/drinking bros. I was able to get it. Your internet service provider, everything, they know every single website you visit, and then they just sell the information over and over and over again. ExpressVPN.com puts a stop to this. It creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that your online activity can't be seen by anyone. I use it on all my devices. I've got expressvpn.com/drinkinbro on every single device, phones, fucking all that shit. The best part, it's easy. Just fire up the app, click one button, you're protected. expressvpn.com/drinkinbros is the world's #1 rated VPN by CNET, Wired, The Verge, and countless others. So if you're like me and believe in your online activity and you believe that it's your business, secure yourself by visiting expressvpn.com/drinkinbros today. Use our exclusive link, expressvpn.com/drinkinbros, and you can get an extra 3 months free. It's expressvpn.com/drinkinbros. D'Anthony.
Yeah, here we go. ExpressVPN. I use it to cheat systems all the time. Don't tell me what I can and can't watch, bitch. Anyways, so this dude reached out. He works in the industry, and JBS is the name of the company that got hacked. So here's what happened. The hackers hacked their computer system that controls their entire plant. They aren't able to scan out orders, check inventory to know what to process, or scan trim out to grind. Trim is in like the same as in the weed industry. So trim is like the raw product that gets sent from the harvester to the person that makes the product into cuts of beef or rolled joints or oils or whatever, right? In any industry, basically, it's called trim. So,
yeah.
Anyways, let's see. Yeah, so every carcass after it gets slaughtered gets tagged and out and into inventory. So they tag it because that little barcode tells them when they scan it, like, all right, I got all the steaks from it, I got all the fucking hind parts from it, I got all the flanks from it, et cetera, right? Just to make sure they harvest the entire animal and everything's controlled.
Sure.
Once slaughtered, they go into a cooler for a day or two before going out to the carcass processing floor. Trim is mixed for lean point via their computer system. Boxed beef is pulled into the system, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they're paralyzed right now. He works in a plant that's similar to one of theirs. So it's not that people are wondering what it means to hack a beef company. Basically, it's the inventory management system that's been hacked. And they can't process any of the shit, so they can't send out orders. So technically speaking, as long as they have the refrigeration and they stop all of the they stop the slaughtering for now, they can be mitigated. It's not a huge problem, but they still have to fix their inventory management system. You know what I mean? In order to start pushing beef back out for a while. So just, eat chicken, I guess. I don't know. Or you can go to mountainprimal.com.
I was going to say, dude, that's why these small businesses are thriving, like Mountain Primal and shit like that. Like, dude, they don't have any fucking issues with that.
No, because they do it all themselves. They don't have to deal with these assholes. And, if you're going to give money to a company, giving money to a company like Mountain Primal that just a couple of weeks ago gave $100,000 to the boot campaign on our show seems like probably a good idea. I don't know.
Yeah, the other thing too is, so I was watching this story on God, I hate saying the word news because it's like whatever version of their news I'm watching, and they were kind of breaking it down, and they said, look, it probably came from China, I'm sorry, not China, Russia, Russian hackers who are either living in another country, now some Eastern Bloc, or still within Russia, and either Putin's not doing anything about it or he doesn't fucking care. At what point is there going to be repercussions for any of this shit is kind of what they were asking aloud last night. I'm curious as to your thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, look, I doubt that Putin personally is directly ordering people to do shit like this. The chances are greater that it's opportunists. But whether it's the Kremlin or if it's opportunists, you still have to at some point say, hey, Vlad, put your shirt back on, get your people under control, right? It doesn't matter. Like, it's almost like having a talk with a team's manager or coach. Like, hey, your players are acting like assholes. Get it under control or we're going to fucking fine you guys. You know what I mean? So technically speaking, maybe it is or maybe it isn't under his direct order, but it's certainly under his control. We know that Russia is pretty good at controlling their people. So if people are doing shit like that, now that Russia's been made aware of it, if indeed it is the fact that it's coming from there, and if it's coming from Eastern European countries, Russia definitely knows what's going on. We have to put some kind of pressure on them to stop that shit. It's the same thing we do with China with intellectual property theft. Like we sanction them or we fucking do X, Y, and Z to try to stop that stuff. Doesn't really work, but whatever.
Yeah, because you watch it and you're like, all right, God damn, man, if you were trying to spend money or you had a budget, which I'm sure the Defense Department does have a budget for hackers and all this other shit. It seems like whack-a-mole, where it's just like, all right, where the fuck is the next one, and how many people are trying to do this a day to our systems, to any systems for that matter. It's got to be so great around the world that I don't even know if you would have the time or resources to allot to all this shit.
Well, I mean, when it comes down to infrastructure stuff, you have to. There's no amount of money. You can't put a dollar amount on how much we're going to spend to protect our energy grid or our food supply chain, because we don't exist without those things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you can't spend your way out of that problem, then you don't deserve to be a country, frankly. And you're certain whether you deserve it or not, you're not going to be. So it's. I don't know if it's a budgetary issue. I think it's more of a. It's it's more of a will and organization situation. People are. This whole thing with China, especially, and Russia. So everybody wants to talk tough about everything, but never do anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
China is responsible, for example, for 28% of the world's carbon pollution. Between China, Russia, and India, that's 40% of the world's carbon pollution. 40% from just those three countries. Now, I don't remember Greta Thunberg going over there and trying to talk to them about it. You know why? Because they would have murdered the fuck out of her immediately. As soon as she said, "How dare you," Vladimir Putin would have snapped his fingers and a fucking grizzly bear would have come out of nowhere and mauled that little girl. You know what I mean? Because he's got that Elon Musk chip in grizzly bears' heads all over the place over there. And if he doesn't, I would be disappointed, frankly. If we can get, what was it, a monkey playing Pong or something? You tell me I can't buy an attack gorilla that I can control from a remote controller?
Oof.
You know how
that'd be
fucking
great.
badass that would be? Fucking, that would be, don't give me that, because I'll take the earth over.
Hey, man, we're only a couple 100 points away on AMC for buying something like that.
Yeah.
So.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, the left thinks that, remember, we've been through all this, like the last 50 years of lies about how quickly the Earth's going to end because of pollution and shit like that. Like 12 years, it's going to be irreversible. Like, well, you said that 50 years ago. So is it or is it not irreversible at this point? But if you are on the left and you truly believe this is an existential threat to existence, then you might want to fucking take on China at some point instead of having your main celebrities like LeBron James and John Cena and Bautista and all these guys suck China's dick all the time for money.
Well, LeBron is out here in about 2 days. They're going to lose to the Suns, and he's going to get out of there.
I mean, if he loses if he loses Game 6 in LA, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
But he's going to blame everybody but himself, obviously. I mean, even on ESPN this morning, Stephen A. Smith is like, yeah, LeBron's not playing up to his normal whatever. But, I mean, his supporting cast also isn't doing anything. Like, what? It's LeBron James. He's supposed to be the best player in the NBA.
Dame Lillard didn't have a fucking problem last night dropping fucking 60 by himself.
Yeah.
So
Well, he did the normal Dame thing where he drops 60 and loses. So
Yeah.
that's not his fault. Those motherfuckers were missing dunks, layups, free throws. I've never seen anything like it.
And Embiid has a meniscus tear, by the way, so he's probably out for the rest of this year.
Thank God, dude. I don't want to have to hear that Sixers bullshit for the next fucking few months. So.
Yeah, he's got a
cool.
It's a small tear in his meniscus. He's definitely out Game 5, but I don't think he'll come back. I mean, it's not worth it at this point.
I had a little micro tear in my meniscus.
Oh, so you and Embiid are basically the same guy.
We're the same guy.
Yeah. Shit. We had no idea that we were fucking in the presence of greatness here. Shit. Fuck out of here. I need stuff to throw at fake Dan whenever he says dumb shit like that.
I'm not a fucking conspiracy guy, Dan, but like, dude, the last few weeks with this fucking energy and beef bullshit, those are both the things that Biden's been pushing as far as like clean cars. Then I'm going to go fake drive this goddamn F-150 that my Secret Service agent's going to drive.
Right.
And then the beef, like, dude, that came out of nowhere. It was like, Americans need to stop eating meat altogether. And I was like, huh?
Do you think
magically there's a fucking meat shortage?
Do you think it's above the government? Do you think they're above the idea of creating chaos so they have something to protect us from? Like, you know what I mean? Like they would 100% do. The government's job has become to perpetuate its own existence, not to serve the people, right? So they have to continuously point out, like, well, this is dangerous, and it's a marketing device. The government is a marketing device now, and what they're selling is fear, right? And what they're getting in return instead of money is power. It's a weird fucking situation, and they can suck my dick. But the Lakers lost by 30 last night. They were down by 30 for pretty much the entire second half. And at the half, I think they scored, 36 points in the first half, which is 2 above the worst half they've ever had in the playoffs.
Yeah, they were down 40 at one point.
Yeah. LeBron James scored 24 points, and his plus minus was minus 24. So, that's not great.
No, and then there's some breaking news in this Mayweather fight here versus Paul. They will not have judges ringside, and an official winner will not be announced. However, the spokesman said knockouts are not prohibited, and any stoppages would be up to the referee's discretion.
Wait, which fight is this?
The Mayweather fight.
Really? I thought they said no knockouts.
Apparently, they're saying you can get stopped, and it's up to the referee.
And this is 10-ounce gloves too, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. So much better chance of a knockout with 10-ounce versus 12 or 16-ounce gloves.
Let's see.
Less cushion.
12-ounce gloves is what they're wearing. No headgear.
Oh, maybe 10 is for the Jake Paul fight with
Tyron Woodley.
Tyron Woodley. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. These are both interesting fights because you're looking at the Paul brothers are about the same size. They're like 6'1", 6'2". Both walk around, I think, at 205 or so, but they're going to cut down to 190 for I think Paul's cutting down to 190, right?
Logan's a little bigger.
Yeah, Logan's a little bit beefier, but
yeah.
he's also slower, so we'll see how that works. But I can't, man, fucking 5'6" inches and 20 pounds is a lot. And any kind of fight, like I understand that Mayweather's the best defensive boxer at all time, and I feel like he's probably going to win that fight, but he can't take a solid punch from the guy because of the size. You know what I mean? Like that's just not how that works. There's weight classes in fighting for a reason.
Yeah, Logan, it says here on his last fight, weighed in at 199.5 pounds. That would technically put him 50 pounds heavier than what Mayweather weighed in for his last fight.
Yeah, I don't
know if he's gained any weight. It didn't look like it the other day.
Probably not. I mean, he's a cardio guy. Right. So he's not,
right.
He doesn't need to gain weight to be great at what he does. That's like, you see basketball players a lot coming out, particularly really tall guys coming out of college or high school back in the day, even like Kevin Garnett. And they get into the league and like, all right, let's get 10, 15 pounds of muscle in this guy. Then he can fucking bounce people around a little bit. You see the same thing in baseball a lot. Like dudes need to fucking get their bodies filled out a little bit. But you would never see that from like a base stealer. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't need that. You need more cardio. You need more fucking sprints and shit like that. Maybe some leg work, but not bulk. So I don't think to be great at what he does, which is not getting hit and delivering very fast strikes that land more frequently than anybody else, Mayweather doesn't need to gain weight, but he does have to avoid getting knocked the fuck out, right?
Yeah. So Logan has to weigh at 190 for weigh-ins. And for every pound he's over, he's fined $100,000.
Who gives a
shit? Shit, for real?
Yes.
So what's Logan going to make on this? $30 million probably. So he can lose. He can go up 10 pounds and still
lose
make $29 million.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gives a shit. I mean, he's already rich as shit too. I would come in at like 240, be like, "Fuck you, guy! I'm not even getting paid for this." Just come out looking like Ben Askren with big love handles and shit. And a fucking like a handlebar mustache and a fucking just like walk out smoking.
Ben Askren does look like he was pulled out of a time machine from 110 years ago.
Yeah, he's like the in shape, out of shape guy from Family Guy.
Yeah,
like I don't know if this guy's in shape until he exhales. All right, he's fat. I'll fight him.
You guys have on your UFC show today, Giorgio and Fake Dan, Anthony Pettis on today.
Showtime.
Yeah, Showtime Pettis is going to be the guest today
On Drinkin' Bro Sports this
for
afternoon.
these guys. That's going to be a good one. I almost want to sit in on it, but I don't really care that much. I've got shit to do, but I'm going to watch it from home while I'm working for sure. Because Pettis is one of those guys that typically it doesn't even matter if he wins or not. It's still a really exciting fight almost every time he goes out. That's the kind of he's like Masvidal. Like you don't know, and Diaz too. Like I don't know if Diaz might go out there and get his fucking head knocked off, but you know for a fact that he's going to fight his ass off every single fight. He never takes a fucking fight off. That's what I like. Effort is the one thing you can. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. The thing that I respect most in the world is effort. You don't know. You can't predict what kind of body you're going to be born. You can't. Everybody's not going to be LeBron James, right? Maybe you get that gift. Maybe you don't. Not everybody's going to be great at math. This is why I respect grammar so much, because nobody is naturally good at it. Math, some people just understand math. Some people just don't. But grammar is something that you only get good at it by putting effort in. So it's a good example of somebody actually gives a shit. You know what I mean? Effort is the most important thing, because you don't know if you can still put in effort and fail, by the way. And in baseball, for example, the best on earth fail 70% of the time.
Yeah, I watched CC Sabathia talk about this the other night. It was actually a really funny interview. We should get him on the show one day. Yeah. But he was just saying, man, I worked my ass off. And he goes, one day I just woke up, man, and I was throwing 97, then I was throwing 90. And he goes, nothing I could do about it. It was age at that point, no matter how hard I worked and everything else. And he kind of laughed it off.
Yeah, you can't, there's, what's that old saying? You can't get velocity in the weight room, I think is how it goes. And that's true. I mean, somehow Charlie Morton is still throwing 97 into like the 7th and 8th innings, and there's no reason he should be. What is he, like 38 years old or some shit?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's very random.
It's God-given, man. I mean, fucking, Nolan Ryan, dude. He was doing it at 45 years old, that motherfucker.
46.
He was crazy.
He threw a no-hitter at 44.
Yeah.
He threw a no-hitter against the 90s Blue Jays, right? The ones that had just won back-to-back fucking World Series.
Yep.
At 44 years old. Well, no, actually, it was 92, so it was the year they won their first one. Joe Carter, fucking Roberto Alomar, all those motherfuckers. Paul Molitor was on that team, I think. I mean, 44. But Nolan Ryan was also the first guy ever to get in the weight room. He was the first baseball player ever to do that. And everybody told him not to. They're like, hey, you're going to get too fucking muscle-bound and not be able to throw fastballs anymore. He's like, well, I'm 80. I'm still throwing 100 miles per hour, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah, he's fine. Hey, I asked Giorgio, I think if memory serves me correctly, I think Woodley used to train with Anthony Pettis at the same gym.
Did Tyron Woodley used to train with Anthony Pettis?
They did. Yeah.
Go get on the mic over there.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, when he's on today, ask him about this fight because, as soon as it was announced with the Jake Paul thing, I went all in again on Jake. I'll go ahead and say it because we'll probably be there. One would imagine if it's in Vegas or something. But ask Anthony Pettis today what he thinks.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask Anthony what he thinks about the Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley fight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and if you guys,
he'll probably comment on it. Yeah, he trained with both and Ben and Duke Rufus.
That's right.
Academy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, if you guys,
I'd be curious to hear his thoughts because dude, boxing is so much different, man. So we'll see.
Yeah, if you guys in the audience also have questions for Showtime Pettis, get those ready. And as soon as the show goes live later, put those in there so Giorgio and Dan and the guys can see them.
Yeah, subscribe to Drinkin' Bros Sports, separate YouTube channel altogether, separate podcast feed, all that stuff. And then obviously rate and review it, give it a 5-star, and all that shit. It fucking helps, man. I know Barstool is going to be at this event on Sunday night as well. Now is the point in the show where we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week. Boom. One just popped up live here. To go to drinkinbros.com. There's a submission form there. Boom. You can put in whoever you want, and it'll come directly to our inbox. We don't pre-screen these. We read these live, so whatever happens, happens. This one was submitted by Kenzie Byram from South Carolina, listener of Drinkin' Bros for over a year. Is nominating Jarrett Pearson. Reason for the nomination: he is my boyfriend and the greatest daddy in the world. I just want him to know that he's very appreciated.
It's interesting that she said daddy and not dad or father. Like, do you guys even have children, or is it like, what are we saying here? Does it say where she's from? Because that can tell you whether or not the word daddy is being used in the right context.
South Carolina, and that's iffy. That's where you're from.
Yeah, I mean you could go either way there because a lot of people still do say daddy, meaning father there, which is
Yeah, but if you're saying it at Myrtle Beach, it has a totally different meaning than it does in like Columbia, South Carolina.
Actually, they say they don't say daddy, they say deddy. Like it's a super hillbilly accent, like D-E-D-D-Y. Oh, it's my daddy, man. Yeah, he's the best daddy of all time. But yeah, it's if she's saying it with the like daddy, that means she's getting plowed, which is great, by the way. I support that. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Kenzie, we're proud of you. Let us know if Jarrett Pearson is your daddy or he's just a really good father. Each of those have different meanings for totally different reasons. Hopefully he's a great father and then he's also your daddy in the bedroom. Or shit, maybe financially he's just rolling in that AMC stonk money with diamond hands and laser eyes, and he's giving you everything you want down there in South Carolina. But we'll see. We'll see. D'Anthony, it was a fun show today.
Yeah.
I like these fucking weird light shows. I'm still stuck here until Friday. I have to travel back with my kids, so it's trying to get 4 people on a flight this week during the Memorial Day travel was difficult.
It's not even worth it. Even Giorgio had to fly back here from LA yesterday. No fucking cabs anywhere. No fucking anything. It's bullshit. Like my last 3 flights have gotten fucked up. One, I had to cancel all outright and fly the next day early as shit. It's all being blamed on some mysterious weather that I can't see with my eyes or find on my phone. So I don't know if there's I don't know what the fuck is happening. It's all bullshit.
When I was at the airport Monday, it was 72 and sunny, not a cloud in the sky, but they're allegedly in Dallas. There was storms afoot. Nobody has said a goddamn word.
This past weekend, that's what it was. The weekend before, I was actually sitting in Dallas trying to get back here. I think it was on Monday morning, if I'm not mistaken. So not yet 2 days ago, but the previous Monday. We're sitting there, and the pilot's like, I can't take off right now. It seems like there's a little bit of weather pocket right to the south of us. And I'm like, hey, go east or west. I yelled it out. And then no shit. And then 5 minutes later, he goes, it looks like traffic control is going to let us go out to the east right quick and around this way. I'm like, oh my God, it took you fucking 10 minutes to figure that out, asshole? There's only 4 fucking directions, bitch. Figure it out. I was so fucking mad.
Oh, dude. Well, all of us will be back. Hopefully, knock on wood. Friday is our flight in, Jesse included, and then we'll be there, and then we will be live from Miami on Sunday. This weekend, we're going to do a live show Sunday with Chuck Liddell to go over the predictions of what's going to happen over the night, and then we'll do a recap show on Monday. And I think our guest on Monday is Hector Macho Camacho, if I'm not mistaken.
Word. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about the stuff that's going on, right?
Well, I think somebody said he might be doing it. He might be getting in one of these fights one day.
Well, Hector Camacho, despite having, or not despite, but in addition to having one of the best names of any kind of fighter of all time, because, I mean, that's a great fucking name. Hector Camacho. Are you kidding me? Hector Camacho. Anyways, despite having a great name, he is also super entertaining, not just as a fighter, but as a dude.
Oh, that dude was the best, man.
Yeah,
he was one of my favorites as a kid. Every time he was on, man, you were just like, all right, sweet. Who is this fucking animal, dude?
So
the ring presence and all that shit.
Yeah, if he gets into all of this, this new fighting bullshit that's going on, dope. Super into it.
So we'll see on Monday, but we'll be live from Miami Sunday and Monday. Back, we're flying home that night, Monday night, and then everybody's back in the studio starting Tuesday, weather permitting, obviously. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a review. That's what will help keep us in the charts. And then please flip over to Drinkin' Bros Sports channel and subscribe on YouTube. What is it? 4:30 Central that you guys are going live with Anthony Pettis. It's live.
Yeah, 4:30.
Okay, 4:30 Central, 5:30 Eastern. They'll be going live with Showtime. Anthony Pettis, looking forward to that as well. Giorgio, welcome back. How did the Matthew McConaughey interview go?
Giorgio, do you hear that?
No, he's on a delay.
He's asking how the Matthew McConaughey interview went. It was good. I watched part of it. It's funny. Like the clip that they posted yesterday, which is, or this morning actually, Matthew McConaughey explaining the different types of way to flip somebody off was really interesting. Like he's clearly put a lot of thought into how to tell somebody to go fuck themselves, which I like.
That dude's hilarious, man. So he's going to be on Icebreakers in a couple weeks. Giorgio just got back from there. Looking forward to that episode too. We got bangers, kids. Bangers and bangers and bangers upon bangers. And we got a couple new shows coming up that we're excited about. So we appreciate you hanging in there through the Zooms and the floods and the fucking storms and all that other bullshit. We love you. Rain or shine, we're here Monday through Friday. We appreciate the support. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. We are the Drinkin' Bros. Good night, everybody.